This is AEW news brought to you by patreon.com/Pro Wrestle Times. Everybody, Ichi Nissan da in the chat because it is time for AEW news. And of course, the best guy is Tony Khan. Ladies and gentlemen, AEW has officially began broadcasting in South Korea on IB Sports. And IB Sports previously aired WWE shows from 2017 until the end of 2025. After WWE's Korean coverage moved to Netflix, IB Sports decided to broadcast AEW instead. Now, that's a cute little spin on things, but I don't know why Train Bamager, he's just kind of a sicko. It is what it is. So there you go. In Korea, buddy. Speaking of things that are popular in Korea, I don't know. Mercedes Monea crashes out and her crash show continues, and she said she's taking a break from AEW. Let's take a listen. And it's like, of course, you drop the titles, dips out. Like, come on, man.
You want to smile and laugh and play hero? Well, heroes don't build divisions. Icons do. Over 500 days.
Did Monet build the division? Do you guys think that she built the division?
Sometimes in life, you got to be a hoe.
I just don't know if you can attribute that to her.
I held that championship. Not because I was lucky. Because I was undeniable. I was the greatest. I was PWI's #1 wrestler of the year.
Wrestler of the year.
Sports Illustrated #1. And well, it doesn't matter what year it is.
What year it is. Do you guys hear it? Do you guys hear it? Year it is.
Year it is. I will always be the greatest. But you know what? Ever since I arrived to AEW, I have been shown nothing but disrespect. I am so sick and tired of the disrespect around here.
Disrespect around here.
To show you bitches a lesson, I am taking a break from AEW to show you why and how I elevated. And good luck without me. Because when I return, I am collecting more than just titles.
Here's the problem. How long is this break? She did just drop the belts. People didn't really get over. No fanfare. They snuck it in at a time when no one was really watching AEW. And then she's just dipping out for a bit. I mean, come on, man. It's just some young bucks right here. I would say that Monet at least did the right thing and dropped each belt. Now, the booking of it might be terrible. That's the booking of it. You know what I mean? That's on Tony Khan. That's on the best guy. Everybody, at least Monet's doing some WWE type here. I'm just being honest. Like, this is something, if she had it done in WWE, we'd all be, this is like what Bailey's doing in WWE right now, essentially. I'm crazy, but you have to wait and see how crazy I am for a long time, you know? So Monet's going to come back all crazy and then cool, you know? Then as long as it, and she did put people over at least, you know, everyone thought she would just like pawn it off onto other people to get those belts, but to get those belts like to other people or back to their rightful places. And is she going to go, like, doesn't she still have like 10 belts though? So these are just the AEW ROH ones. These other feds are okay with her unless she's been dropping them and just no one's talking about it in the IWC. So I give her points, but everyone just dips out of AEW constantly and they can never get momentum going. It's just unfortunate, man. It's just unfortunate that Like, we're gonna see Kenny now, and then he'll just be gone again. MJF will just be gone again, just like Joe's gonna be gone again, and then Monet is gone, and then the Bucks were just gone, and then they came back, and then they said, "No, we're actually gone," and then they showed up in Japan, and then they come back, and it's like, why is everybody like, "Oh, I have to leave this place"? I feel like we're stuck in the mud as fans watching this shit, but I do like this, and I've been putting Monet over a little bit lately because she goes at Dave, and she did the right thing, just dropping the belts, and people won't give her the credit for that. And you can think she's cringe all you want. That's fine. I think she fucked up the women's blood and guts match. I really do. I think her and Marina Shafir, the match was awesome until they showed up. But overall, I would say a positive going into 26 that she dropped the belts to other people. I know that the booking wasn't great and it didn't really, but how much of that is Tony Khan's fault? All she can do is show up when she's told to wrestle and drop the fucking belts. Unless she was like, I want to do it on New Year's when no one's watching to see me lose. Unless that was her idea, which I'm willing to bet it wasn't. Moving along here. Shout out Monea, I guess, right? Moving along here. Speaking of the Bucks, they were on Being the Elite because that show's back. And Nick Jackson, again, they go, we're not sure how long we can keep this up, and one last big baby face running us. You know, they're like pulling an Usos. But they're like, we're ready to retire and dip out of wrestling. Like, how many times are they going to do this?
Here's to 2026. I don't know how much longer I can keep up this crazy effing pace.
Hey, one last big baby face running us, right?
Here's to 2026. I don't know how much longer I can keep.
I bet they'll do like a mini program against each other and before they both retire. Like, they'll double retirement match against each other at like All In. That's my prediction. PWT's predictions.
About this crazy effing pace.
Hey, one last big baby face running us, right?
Yeah, I like that they went back to their old gear and they're kind of it sucks, man, because the Young Bucks hurt themselves. Brett screwed Brett, pal. The Young Bucks screwed the Young Bucks, yeah. They screwed themselves, you know? They had everyone behind them, and then it turned into, like, the gimmick was, oh, they're marks for themselves type shit. Killing the business and all this shit. And, like, being very on the nose with we're just going to do the Click and, like, kind of parody NWO and the Click and all that. And so it was kind of over. But then you saw how they handled the Punk situation and all this shit, and you're just like, oh, no, they are actually just marks for themselves in a way that is not good for AEW. Like, fuck, you know? One can only assume, like, look at the tag team division, where it's at and how so many of these tag teams have been handled. What the fuck happened, you know? And they were in charge of that, no, at the beginning. So you just look at it and it's like, damn, they really fucked the perception of themselves up by just not being able to listen to what they perceived as outsiders, you know? The outs and not the people they were mimicking, brah. Well, you know something, dude. Me and the NWOites and the outsiders, Jack. Brada. So moving along here, and speaking of people dipping the fuck out, we have people coming and going here in AEW, but one person who dipped out of Twitter is Dax FTR. He dipped out.
Sure thing, bro.
And
sure thing.
I'm sure it's because it's such a toxic place or whatever. And it's so toxic, man. It's just a toxic place. I can't read this stuff. It's not actually facts. It's just people being assholes. How dare you make fun of me, even though I'll print a t-shirt with a guy on it that I don't like and wear it around public places and to bully them and talk shit about them. How dare you make fun of me? I'm trying to make money to feed my family. Right? So Dax FTR dipped the fuck out of Twitter. And yeah, I don't know, man. If you can't, we have another story of that later. And it's like, if it fucks with your mental, then yeah, just log off. Like, handle your social how you want to handle your social, you know? That's what it is. It's like, it's just strangers on the internet. So I'm not like shitting on him. If he's really going through it, then yeah, just log off for a bit and stuff. An embarrassing video surfaces online. So let's take a watch. It's a bad look. Let's see. So AEW is still doing their thing every week, but they are not renting buildings as large as they used to. It seems fan interest has noticeably fallen. A video surfaced AEW's merchandise line before Dynamite this week. Didn't even show a ton of interest in picking up new swag. Years ago, we ran articles about how long AEW's merchandise line was. Yeah, so just here's a shout out Ringside News. Let's watch. It's nobody, which is what their merchandise is all fucked up. They need to not go through Pro Wrestling Tees. They just fucked themselves in the beginning. They just wanted to do all friends wrestling, and it just completely fucked things up. And then they go through Pro Wrestling Tees, and it just has not benefited them or the wrestlers. Speaking of tone and the attendances and whatnot, just a couple little thises and that. So Dynamite next week in Florida, home turf, 2,581 tickets sold. So they're doing like what TNA's doing for their debut show. No, TNA a little less than that. But yeah, they're set up for 3,300. And I guess good for them. I don't know. 2,000 AEW TNA, they're going at it. Bryan Alvarez, though, break it down, the crisscross spot that went wrong on Collision. And again, this is what Dave will omit. He will give this match 4 stars and then omit that this sort of shit happens. And we covered it on the last DMW. Flutes in the chat. Dave Meltzer completely omitted the fact that Okada was seen by the referee Paul Turner blatantly stabbing Takeshita in the head in Minecraft right in front with a screwdriver on the pay-per-view or whatever. And then he completely omitted that from his dirt sheet and then gave the match 4 3/4 stars or whatever the fuck. But it's just funny that Bry has to bring this shit up when Dave's not. I don't think Dave is here. I think he's talking to Tom Lawler.
Pac and Wheeler are clearly going to do a crisscross. Wheeler is going to do a flip dive over the
crisscross will make you jump.
Top.
Mac Dad will make you.
So they do this first crisscross. And Dante on the outside, he's nowhere near where he's supposed to be. So they do the first crisscross. He's not in position. They do a second crisscross. He's still not in position. They do a third crisscross. You can see Wheeler's, he's running, he's looking. Where the fuck is this guy? And finally, Wheeler's like, fuck it. And he runs and he does a flip dive over the top onto no one. He lands on his feet and you can see him. He's got fury in his eyes. He goes to grab, like, where the fuck were you? Look at Marina Shafir on the outside, far side of the ring. She's fucking howling.
Now, this shit is funny, but like if you had house shows and made these guys train and work, this shit wouldn't happen. If you didn't just whip out Top Flight whenever you had nothing for anyone else, then this shit wouldn't happen. And they would be trained better. And again, this is just like a funny thing. But like tape these shows so you can edit this garbage out. Oh, wait, Tony Khan leaves the garbage in on Collision when he tapes them and people dive off the top and get hurt and shit. And it's like, why is Yuta and Pac even doing this dumb crisscross shit? Why are they even doing it? And like nobody, this is just indie. This is why people call it indie shit, because they just called that spot before the show and there was no preparation. Not that you have to plan every single thing out, but there's no like, yeah, we did this spot on 3 house shows prior. We know what we're doing. We got our timing down. And so Dave will like omit that happened in his Observer, then tell people to read and shit. And then Bry's got to sit there and yell at Tom Lawler about it. Because he can't upset Daddy Dave. You know what I'm saying?
This fucking spot. This was the funniest thing I've seen in wrestling in forever. Pac and
it is pretty funny how he just flips over to nothing and then he's all angry. And then it's like, what are you going to do, Wheeler? Dante Martin would take you, dude. So speaking of people coming and going, should I stay or should I go now? A Bully Ray blasts AEW over Britt Baker's absence. And a lot of people have been bringing up this Britt Baker stuff because she has friends in the industry obviously, right? So she's friends with people, and there's people saying, hey, where the fuck is Britt Baker? And so Bully Ray brings it up, and I think Britt Baker, the reason we're hearing more and more stories about this is because she wants to get on TV as well. And I think she's a little dumbfounded at her maybe not being on TV, but when she's just sitting at home, and I'm sure she's ready to go and whatnot. And she sort of talked a bit of shit about some of Tony's Golden Boys, and that's because she was one of Tone's toys, right? She was the shiny new object for a long time, and then he just cast her aside and forgot about her once she didn't get along with people that Tony values more, like MJF, for instance, who allegedly can just calls his own shots.
Allegedly.
Fucking Tone, like he tells Tone what to do, pretty much, allegedly, right? And Britt's like called out MJF. I don't know. Maybe that's a coincidence. Maybe that isn't. But I think people are like going to bat for their friend a little bit here. Now, I've been critical of Britt. Like the last few times we saw her wrestle, she was the shits. I got to be honest. And I just like asked to get out of my fucking contract. I don't know why Tone is so like, no, you can't leave. Then do something with them. We criticized the Fed for the same shit. And now it's like, who cares when people bring up Santos Escobar? It's like, who gives a fuck if he's on TV or not? If he's signed and happy, he's signed and happy. That's what AEW did. It made everybody go, okay, no, like we don't want people to not make money. I'm happy that they're happy and making money, but it doesn't mean that Tony Khan, just like Eric Bischoff, can't be criticized for like paying people to sit at home and shit that fans want to see, especially when it's people that fans want to see. And Britt Baker was popular, regardless of what you think about her. But also Britt Baker broke up with Adam Cole. And Tony Khan loves Adam Cole. They fucking hugged in his private bathroom. And Adam Cole got powerbombed and ended his fucking career getting powerbombed on the apron. And then his girl left him and shit. So Tone's like going to bat for his guy, I guess. But Bully Ray says, has Britt Baker been so out of sight and out of mind that her wrestling career could be in jeopardy? There's no reason why Britt Baker should not be on my television. There is zero good reason why that girl should not be involved in certain storylines right now. And he's absolutely right. Shout out Busted Open and Bully Ray. He is absolutely right. She should be involved in some capacity in AEW programming. She isn't. And I used to say, nah, it's too late for NXT, but I think that'd be perfect for her. And this is why. They did a bunch of these call-ups. They've been knocking it out of the park with ratings, NXT, for the CW, right? And that's per the CW, so I'm just going based off that. I don't know. Everyone seems happy with it. If you guys watched NXT last night, you would know that they introduced a bunch of folks to NXT, sort of like NXT call-ups and people signing to NXT as well. So it's awesome. I love if they treat the start of the year on the road to Mania every year from now on this way. Fuck a draft. Just have NXT signs people who are looming around AAA and Evolve and the Indies and whatnot and WWE ID, and then WWE and Raw sign people who are from NXT. Just do that. Like, that's awesome. And then if they want to do some trades and say there's a trade deadline between Raw and SmackDown as well, if they want to put that in effect, okay, cool. And the trade deadline is the day of the Royal Rumble, or however the Monday after the Royal Rumble is the trade deadline, or whatever. Or it's like right before the Rumble, and then the Rumble winners can pick whatever title they want to go for, and then that sort of stays thematic through that season. I'd be so down with that. And then that's a way to get eyeballs on Obafemi if you want to feature him on Mania. It's not just like it doesn't feel so last minute, like we will grow to expect this, but get rid of the draft and all that shit. That's just fucking, it's stupid. It doesn't work when the brands aren't fully split, you know? The point I'm getting at is there's going to be people in NXT, guys and gals who are in their 30s, who are 37 and on NXT at the top of there's going to be people like that. So me and JJ Alexander, and on his show, the Full Circle Radio Network, he uploaded the episode of White Heat. Go to like, I think 2 hours and 37 minutes. I think he time-stamped it. But him and I have a crazy like hour-long argument. He gets so mad. I was listening back to it. He was getting so mad. It was funny. I had a blast where we argue about Obafemi and NXT and like all this shit. But one thing we agreed on was Ethan Page. Like, we can all agree, typically the standard Ethan Page should be called up before Obafemi. Like, everyone can agree. If you're saying, oh, come on now, Phil, to that, I don't know what the fuck to tell you. I think we all can agree Ethan Page, like, on a technically should be called up before Obafemi, but like that's not how it works anymore with NXT, especially how it's like essentially just its own third brand. People want to say that AEW is the challenger brand, then what's NXT? It's fucking beating that, you know? So with NXT, I think Britt Baker could go there and get reps in because, hey, people are sort of age, and it just doesn't really matter. Like, look at Tony D's now in the, you know, and he's ready. He could have been called up a year ago. You know what I'm saying? I think that Britt Baker, like in the last year, my opinions changed on, I was saying like Britt Baker fucked herself. She's not good enough to be on Raw or SmackDown, and she's not like a Jade Cargill. So you can't just give her an exception for being green. And then NXT, she's sort of like just past that, you know, it just doesn't make sense. She's too quote unquote big of a name. Maybe a year or two ago, I would have said that, but your boy Phil flip-flopped on that one now. Pulled a Meltzer. No, just my thought on that has changed now just as the landscape of NXT's changed. You know what I'm saying? You need guys like that too. You need guys like who are a bit older, like Joe Hendry and Ethan Page, to work with guys Keanu Carver and these guys who are coming in, who are really young, the Obafemis. Like, you need those guys there too. They can't all just be working with the same age range. And so now that NXT is like its own thing that's doing really well, you know, I think Britt could go and be a part of NXT to some degree, you know, and just shake it up in the main event scene and help get some other girls over and stuff. So moving along here, that's my take on Britt Baker. But again, like, she needs the reps. Like, the last time, like, oh man, it was so bad. And I'm not trying to like dogpile on her. It's just like the last time she was on Dynamite and shit, it was so bad. And then footage of her from that house show leaked or whatever, and it was so bad. And she just didn't improve because you can't improve in AEW. Meanwhile, this whole time she's been benched. Imagine if she just was working out a few times a week at the PC and was benched this whole time, then showed up on TV again. She would be unreal. And if I was her, I would just call up Natty Neidhart and TJ Wilson, start putting reps in there, and fuck it. Who cares if Tone and them get mad at you, bro? You're already benched. So just fucking who cares? You know, if you piss anyone off, doesn't matter. They're not going to use you anyways. So, and it's like, when did she sign and lock in for so long too? I don't know why people are signing and locking in with Tone for so long. He gives you so much money up front. If he's putting you on salary, just take 2 years if he'll give it to you. You can convince Tony he's not like a, nope, take it or leave it. He's not going to bully you like that. You just fucking say, I want 2 years or 1 year or whatever the fuck, man. 3 years, you know? Locking people in for what, like 5, 7, 8 years and shit? Like, get out of here. You don't have plans for that long. You know, you don't have plans for that long, Tony. You shouldn't be doing that. So speaking of people that got signed from the indies and haven't been used, and sickos didn't even realize, and they're now looking up her random matches she's had. I guess she's had 20 matches in the last year or something since she's been signed. And Tatevik, independent, I don't know if I'm saying that right. Tatevik, I don't know. But she's just sitting there doing nothing, right? You have Nyla Rose. Someone put down here, Nyla Rose, Britt Baker, Camille. You have Camille doing nothing. Nyla Rose, wasn't she like your first women's world champion or second women's world champion? Just doing that shitty podcast with Aubrey Edwards and Will Washington. Like, who is this? Who is this? And not even a disser. She's got a pretty good look. I don't know if this is what she looks like right now. Good shape, pretty good look. I'm sure you could find something for her. Why is she on the roster? She's not even in Ring of Honor. Is she in Ring of Honor? Maybe she's in Ring of Honor. We just don't know. But Fightful had to report this in recent months. So like 6 months ago. What is recent months? Jeebers. So speaking of re-signing, Queen Aminata has extended her contract with AEW until 2027. Now, I'm going to put this one over before I check in with that. for Queen Aminata because her neck is fucked up right now, and Tone's willing to re-sign her for she's going to be gone the whole year. Now, does this mean that he's going to freeze? We'll sign you for a year, but like, and I'll pay you, but like once you come back, the year starts and I'll still pay you. If that's what he's doing, then I mean, still good for her, I guess, but she needs to get to NXT. She has a look. She's solid for where she's at. She just needs NXT. I feel like she's just at that stage. Even TNA would be a disservice to her right now. I think she just needs to get in that PC and be around people who are like-minded and who are fucking put in the work like she does and could really help her improve. Again, we're ageist here at PWT, so we're going to look up her age. Queen Aminata age, because she's in her 20s, I believe, 29. So one more year, she'll be like 30, 31 by the time she gets out of AEW. Fingers crossed, and fingers crossed that NXT and WWE are like, sure, we'll we could use her or something. But I'm not hating on this re-signing, because if I hurt my neck like her and they were offering, because WWE ain't going to offer you shit right now with a hurt neck. And they're like, hey, we'll give you another year. I'm taking that too. That's a W, So CMLL announced that Mascara Dorada and Persephone now have dual contracts with CMLL and AEW. And then Dave was like, oh, WWE really wanted Persephone after her Forbidden Door match and against Mercedes Moné. And it's like, no, dude, she's one of the very few women in Mexico. Like maybe they watched the match with Monet, but it's just like they need women for AAA. They're gonna look at Persephone. She's one of the only fucking names anyone really knows outside of if AEW existed or not. People would still hear of Persephone and fucking Zeus's and these people, right? Like they're the standout outliers in Mexico. So Dave's like, oh, WWE really wants them. Like he's working overtime to make it like AEW's winning these fucking contract battles, which may be possibly against TNA, but we'll see. Santos Escobar is staring down Wagner. I believe that's Santos in his mask, right? Is the mask he used to wear. Speaking of contract battles, Powerhouse Hobbs' deal with AEW is up at midnight. This is a couple days ago. WWE sources believe he's headed there. So Powerhouse Hobbs to WWE confirmed. AEW made Powerhouse Hobbs a huge, substantial offer to remain with the company, but he's leaving on good terms. Hobbs wanted to test the waters outside. I'm sorry, Tony, man. I just need to fucking go actually be booked in WWE. I'll be a fucking world champ. Do you guys think he's in the Rumble or no? Do you guys think Hobbs shows up in the Rumble, or did they just use him in NXT, or did they just use him? Like, how do they use him? I think you debut this guy at the Rumble, or what you do is you air vignettes for him, and then you debut him at Mania on night 1 or night 2, and or you play vignettes for him after the Rumble, starting after the Rumble, or you it's in 2 fucking weeks. So after the Rumble, you start doing vignettes for him. Then you debut him before Mania, or like Elimination Chamber. You just give him his debut match or whatever, but just go old school with it. And then have by WrestleMania, you have like a legitimate match or moment for him where he fucking beats someone of significance. Like have him waste a few scrubs leading up to Mania. And then you give him like a big win against someone legit at Mania, and just go old school with it. Just run vignettes for this guy. And they're saying his name is going to change in WWE. But AEW, you fumbled one, man. This is a guy, just look at this image. Like, he has a look. He has size. His promos aren't half bad. They were doing these vignettes where Will Hobbs was, like, showing his hood and showing where he's from and explaining, like, yo, my friend got shot in this parking lot over here and shit. And then they just stopped doing them. And it was like the Book of Hobbs and shit. They should have kept doing that. This is a guy who's been a background player in all these fucking factions. No more. He's his own fucking dude. And he could be a world champion one day. It's crazy to think they have a guy like this coming in. Is he green? Yeah, in comparison to like a Braun Breaker and shit. Maybe he goes to NXT first. I don't think that's the move for him, though. I think the move is you just main roster his ass, air some vignettes. You got this big beast on your roster. That would be awesome. Maybe TNA scoops him up. Everybody's saying WWE because, like, how could you pass on this guy? And they'll know how to book this guy into a star. But Dave Meltzer has something against, like, big black jacked dudes. Like, remember he was beefing with Benjamin and Lashley and them, and now he's beefing with Hobbs. Oh, they want him in WWE. Oh, whatever. It's Hobbs. Like, he's just treating it like it's nothing. And everybody knows he's going to WWE, Brian. And it's like, fuck you, man. Hobbs could be a game changer for TNA. But it's just like the dismissal of like, oh, I mean, in AEW, fucking Javon Evans would be this megastar. Hobbs, whatever. It's like, man, why aren't you calling out Tone for fumbling this, Dave? You look at Hobbs and you're like, this guy could be a fucking huge star if you just booked him correctly. They had 6 years with this guy. Shout out Hobbs, and I hope he's in WWE. You could just do him at the Rumble, but he won't get a big pop. Like, I don't think people will know who the fuck he is, really. That's the problem. He's not. It's not like a Rhodes or like one of these other guys. No pop. So Tony Khan fumbled. He might have got the Rascals, which he is probably going to fumble their fucking booking. But, and he already did by booking them on fucking Collision for their first show. But Hobbs is a massive fumble for AEW. This might be one of the biggest ones. So moving along here, the Butcher and the Blade are back. So they're back in AEW. And I don't know. I think at the start of AEW, these guys had a unique look, and they could have been so much more as well, as far as like a homegrown AEW team. And instead, again, they just sort of became background players and were booked into Obliviacry. And now they just look way older. And if Tony brings Tommaso Ciampa in, you got Tommaso Ciampa right here, bud. So the fuck are we doing? I forgot they were even in AEW. So speaking of being in AEW, Maxwell Jacob Freeman took on Alec Price at Limitless Rumble for the AEW title. And it's cringe because it's like Alec Price, some indie guy, just skips the fucking line and gets a shot at this title before all the people in AEW. And then MJF offers this guy a fucking deal. I guess he gets signed. So let's listen to this. MJF announces that Alec Price and Jordan Oliver are all elite officially. So Tony's going on a crazy signing spree again. And why is he doing this? Well, I'll explain why. Because Tony only ever had good favor. He only ever gets glazed when he goes on these signing sprees and shit. He just has like 4 things he goes back to because he's just so goddamn unoriginal. So
the best guy is Tony Khan.
He does the casino gauntlet every 2 months. He fucking signs a bunch of people every 2 years when he's like, oh, fuck, I just need to sign everyone up. So he signed Alec Price and them. They're just going to be in ROH. I think he's like trying to thicken up the ROH roster as well because they're planning on trying to get it a TV deal. You can see a fire's been lit under his ass with the whole TNA thing. Tone's like, fuck. And he's just put it on the back burner because he doesn't care. It's just toys to him. But let's listen to MJF. He tells them that they're all elite. And I would be more pissed because it's like, let's say you're one of the guys in AEW. This guy who got signed and is just going to go to ROH and fucking not even win matches there or become a jobber for the Callis family. Got a shot at this world title on an indie before any of us did. I just think AEW never spares an opportunity to diminish the perception of them and their league, you know?
So I have a question, guys. When you see how much potential these two gentlemen have, do you want to see them make an impact? Do you want to see them be sports entertainers? Company? Or do you want to see them in AEW?
So are they like a tag team? So what the fuck is Tone going to do with them? Oh, sorry, Kevin Knight and Mike Bailey. You guys are done. He's got his 2 new fucking shiny toys here. Why would you want to fucking go there when you look at what happened to Private Party and LAX and shit? Like, why if I was a tag team, that fucking it's a death sentence being a fucking tag team in AEW, dude. If WWE went to a indie and got people going dub-dub-E, dub-dub-E, everyone would cringe, including me. But this is what Tone does. Let's go to these fucking indies and get them to chant AEW. Let's boo capitalism and then fucking go to these markets and get them to chant pay-per-view at us.
Why not let us sway in AEW? Because I'm the champion of the goddamn world! So my boss called me, and he said, Max, I want you to put Alec Price to the test and see if he deserves to be elite. He said, Max, I want you to watch Jordan Albert and let me know if he has what it takes to be elite.
So yeah, these guys got signed up. Good for them, I guess. Speaking of ROH though, so ROH and Metroplex Wrestling Global Wars announced for Honor Club. So now Ring of Honor, what Tone's doing is he's stealing PWT's idea. This is exactly, which is good. I wished he would. I've been saying this for years.
Tony Khan.
But he's doing it with ROH. Okay, but he should have did this years ago when he first bought ROH. But either way, ROH is teaming up with these indies now to do different Global War events and be like, hey, we're intertwined with the indies and we're like a super indie thing. And so they're teaming up with Metroplex Wrestling for Global Wars on Honor Club. And ROH is teaming up with Maple Leaf Pro. They unite for a 2-night event in Windsor, Ontario at St. Clair College. ROH and MLP Global Wars Canada and MLP Uprising. So it's ROH and MLP. So again, people like the dirt sheets don't talk about this. When they start talking about this, you guys can say you heard it here first. You know, MLP and AEW, they have a fucking working relationship. They have the same way TNA works with WWE. It's been the same thing, just no one spurgs out about it because they weren't up on the forefront with it. And yes, some WWE ID people can go work MLP and all of that, but it's a matter of like, Tone has some shit worked out with D'Amore already. This has been a thing. And so good for them. Global Wars Canada, ROH versus MLP type shit. That's awesome. I'm not going to Ontario to see this shit personally, and like, who knows who Tone's going to send? It'll be like the Shane Taylor promotion, whatever version of that exists today. You know, and it'll be just random shit that I don't, you know, Jake Doyle will be stuck fucking on these shows with Mark Davis and shit. I like this idea. I like that ROH is teaming up with different indies and just doing like a super indie thing. But then Tone does this and tries to sports entertainment it up. And he makes this announcement with Athena.
Hi. It's great to be here on ROH today. I'm your ROH president, Tony Khan, and I'm joined by the ROH Women's World Champion, the Fallen Goddess.
And he's got his suit on with an AEW patch and a Jaguars patch sewn in together. And he's with Athena, who's had this title forever, and he's done nothing with. And now, because of TNA, he's like, oh, fuck, I better try and get ROH a TV deal. But the problem is Tony goes out there. If he was smart, he would go, I'm not in charge of ROH. I put other people in charge of it, because other people are just going to look at him in AEW and what he's done with it. And they're going to go, this is a fucking joke. And they're going to look at ROH and value it. When he goes, I'm the boss and creative and all this, people are going to look at ROH and not be willing to give it a chance because of Tone McCon, because of Steamboat Tone. And what he's done with AEW. That's unfortunately what's going to happen.
The forever champion, Athena. And we have a very special announcement about a show coming up.
If I was him, I'd be like, Jeff Jarrett runs ROH and I have nothing to do with it. Even if he secretly does have shit to do with it behind the scenes.
2 weeks from tonight on ROH. It'll be here streaming on Honor Club Thursday, January 29th. And we'll be filming the show here at the Esports Stadium in Arlington, Texas, on Saturday, January 24th. For the first time ever, ROH is going to collaborate. We're going to team up with Metroplex Wrestling.
For the first time ever, ROH is going to collaborate. God damn it, Tone. ROH, no, for the first time since you've owned it, and not even then. Because ROH has already collaborated with CMLL and AEW and New Japan. He's already pitched it that way in the past multiple times for Forbidden Doors and shit. So now he's like, the first time ever, we're going to collaborate with this other wrestling fed. How the perception now is you're on the same level as Metroplex Wrestling, dude.
Which is run by the CEO of Metroplex and the matchmaker of Metroplex, the ROH Women's World Champion, the fallen goddess Athena.
So Athena owns her own fed, and now it's teaming up with ROH. So, okay, that's good moves for... That's because Athena owns it. She's making moves for the indies. Good for her.
We're going to team up for ROH and Metroplex Global Wars. And Champ, you're going to be bringing in some of the top stars from Metroplex. This is going to be an awesome show.
It is going to be absolutely phenomenal and one that no one is going to miss. But when my minions prove that they are the best in the entire world, we are going to continue with this forever. Just like my championship reign, boss.
Well, that remains to be seen, but I'm very excited about working with you. And you're a fantastic champion in ROH. You're running a really exciting promotion in Metroplex, and I can't.
It's fucked how he like doesn't look at her when she's talking to him and stuff. He's so cooked. We talked a little bit about Tony Khan, the best guy. And so Tony Khan did an interview on the Battleground Dire podcast. And Tony Khan says absolutely no wrestler in AEW has creative control. And he says, there is no creative control. Only I have it. Okay, so AEW isn't what everybody promised. And all of this shitty shit that happens on your show is your bad. The best guy, Tony Khan, right? So he's just copping to it right there. So all of this shit that's bad is your bad.
The best guy's Tony Khan.
Feels all disjointed and discombobulated because of you. And the whole thing is like, wrestlers can be themselves and do what they want. Remember, that was like a selling point of AEW. And now you're saying that that's not even the case to some degree. And you're trying to take credit for fucking everything, meaning you're the end all be all, huh, Tone? So there you go, sickos. Start blaming Tony. I've been right this whole time, and apologize to me. There's a lot of freedom to work with staff and coaches. The wrestlers together come up with ideas. I'm one of the most collaborative people on the planet, and that's how I've been able to succeed in multiple sports. Oh my fucking God, dude.
Are you sure about that?
So didn't the Jags just get sent packing? Like, what are you talking about, man? The Jags are a laughingstock. Fulham's a laughingstock, and AEW's a laughingstock. You've done nothing in any of those things. Your creative idea was send Orange Cassidy. Did Jags wear the play? Did they make the playoffs or what? I haven't been watching any foosball. Foosball's for the devil, guys. Just kidding. No, the Jags actually done all right. Good for them this year. Good. I'm actually glad to hear that for them. So Fulham is doing better than my team in the EPL. There you go. So Fulham's ruling too. Jags made playoffs and lost. They got bounced. Lost to Josh Allen and the Bills. 13-4. Lost the Bills at home in the playoffs. Damn, dude. So they got ruled. Yeah, but that's still good if you make the playoffs in the NFL. Like, that's fucking, it ain't easy, and it's single elimination. So it ain't no fucking best of 7 bullshit, right? So you got to respect that, and good for them, right? Because they were kind of being laughed to oblivion like the year before. So that's good on them. But how much of that is tone, right? So the point I'm getting at is, what does that have to do with Tone McCon? Like, who the fuck what did he do? Is he on the field coaching? I'll send a fucking Swerve out there to wear a jersey. You know, what did Tone do to contribute to that? Just, you know, give 7th round undrafted guys fucking phone calls. So I just don't know if he can. He's been lacking tons of humility, and then talking about how the SI Awards, it's all about like practicing humility and just being humble. That's what Tone's saying. Meanwhile, he's just been swagging and sucking his own dick lately and stuff, and it's a joke. He doesn't do shit for the Jags, and he doesn't do shit for Fulham. Let's be perfectly fucking honest. He's a statistician. Yeah, fucking AI can crunch the numbers, bro. There's AI will replace that. So who gives? But anyways, but yeah, Tone is like, no one has creative control. And then he's like, I'm very collaborative. Yeah, but you suck at it then. You know, maybe you need to get out of the way. And the best art is collaborative always. Or maybe not always, but for the most part, and especially pro wrestling, it needs to be. But Tone, if you're the end all be all, then that the finished product is what is really lacking, objectively speaking. Right? If you're a sicko, maybe you're just like, oh my God, I fucking love Maximum Carnage, man. I don't know. But here's Jeff Lane, who posted this, who's coming on PWT soon, by the way, guys. We've been both trying to do it. We're just both like, hey, I don't know. We're just loosey-goosey cats. But Jeff Lane is coming on PWT, okay? And soon, hopefully like this week. Maybe this weekend I'll get him on. But he posts this. This looks like an SNL skit, but it's real. Bro, shout out Vince Russo, Barreau, and Jeff Lane on pay. And the Vince Russo's the brand. Bro, let me tell you about castrating the marks, Barreau. This Tony Khan, let me tell you. So here is Tony Khan, and they write, this should be an SNL sketch, but it isn't.
How banged up he was.
What do you mean by they didn't understand what he was doing?
I think that people,
and then
I
he
think
freezes.
that
He's blaming fans. Is this where he blames the fans? God, this makes me sick.
was.
What do you mean by they didn't understand what he was doing?
I think that people, I think that people misunderstood.
See, there's no reason Tone is talking out of his ass and is blaming the fans for not understanding Moxley and his shitty booking. Oh no, you guys just don't understand it. You're idiots. Fuck you. How about that? This is why people don't watch your show. Oh, they didn't understand. Freddie Prinze Jr. says this shit too. I listen to Wrestling with Freddie, and he's like, Mox, you know, he did so much for after he lost the belt. He put over guys by tapping out to them and shit. It's like, who cares? Who did that help? That didn't help anyone. Then he just won the C2 and then turned babyface out of nowhere and just shit on the last year of what he's done. He gave nothing back. He just he tapped out in this tournament that he could, because the point system allowed him to lose a couple times, but then still win the tournament. That's just a snake way of getting himself over, dude. So Freddie Prinze and Tone are both like, I don't know what they're doing, trying to push that this mock shit was good. They've lost 20%, 14 to 20% or whatever the number is of viewership year over year. And this last year was Mox. Everyone, even the sickos, going, this Mox shit is terrible, until the point they were just forced to take it. And they just keep hemorrhaging viewership and shit. You can't put that over. It didn't help anybody. It doesn't matter if you put someone over, but the TV rating next week is your lowest you've ever done. That's not really helping anyone, you know? It helps if he draws. He's not drawing doing what he's doing. It would help everyone else if he put them over in a way that people saw it and shit like that. Less people are watching than ever. And then he just still won the tournament and then just turned babyface, didn't explain it, took a shit on everyone. That was Tony's brilliant creative. Holy fuck. Blame the fans. And this guy's sitting there like, are you fucking frozen like a robot?
This
like,
is a rib.
Death
Jeff,
Riders,
can you
and I
stop it? Somebody edited it like this. This is AI.
That's exactly what I thought.
This is AI.
I found the video on Q101's YouTube page, and I found this spot in the video. This is not edited. This is legit.
How banged up he was.
What do you mean?
It's just embarrassing and humiliating, man. It's just humiliating. And like, it's okay to sit there and think about what you're going to say before you say something stupid, but he's trying to not just blatantly go, the fans didn't get it and critics didn't get it and we're just too meta and above everyone. It's fucking cringe, man. It's like all these Stranger Things conformity gate redacts. Like, guys, yes, the episode was meta and they hid things in the background and they changed the colors and they had people, yes, because they want you as a viewer to feel uncomfortable and they're trying to be meta, but it doesn't mean there's hidden episodes that haven't come out yet. You're not smarter than everyone because you're pointing out blatantly bad plot holes and fucking things that they did do to try and be meta. Like, yeah, it's a plot hole. There shouldn't be water in the Upside Down. That doesn't mean there's hidden episodes, guys. Like, why do you need everything spelled out for you? And then or why do people blame fans or then one section of fans? You have all these Stranger Things fans getting mad at everyone who are just like, I don't really like the finale. You idiot. There's more to it than that. No, dude, you're just... No, you're not smarter than anyone. Shut the fuck up. That's what Tone does with this goofy ass book. So speaking of not beneficial to anyone, Tony Khan, other than his bank account, that is, Tony Khan, he dropped a video before we went on the air. This is great. Here's 6 minutes and 36 seconds of Tony Khan Cringe. He's in a Jaguars jacket. He's wearing his big fake glasses that he doesn't actually need. And let's EFAP this video. This was live as we were live, Tony Khan. Chat. And so let's get into this here.
Hey, it's great to see you.
Hey, it's great to see you. It's like, buddy, is this a kids show? Like, what is this?
Hey, it's great to see you. I'm so excited. It's Saturday night, and that means AEW Collision. And it's a huge AEW Collision tonight. It's Maximum Carnage. And I just wanted to come on, remind you, it's a big Saturday fight night.
He looks like he just woke up.
And this is a stacked show. It's going to be a really great 2-hour wrestling show. I really always appreciate all you great fans. I thought we had a great Maximum Carnage Dynamite this week.
We had a great. I love the great fans. You're all great.
It was a fantastic 2 hours, I thought, with huge matches and so many exciting things happening in 2026 in AEW. And I'm excited for a huge show tonight. There's big matches on Collision tonight starting at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, which is just minutes from right now. We're minutes away from Collision. This is going to be a fantastic show tonight. Maximum Carnage is always a great time. And we've got a big lineup tonight, including a huge World Trios Championship match with the Ops taking on Hangman and Jet Speed. That's going to be a fantastic match.
It's trippy that he's doing because he did this live. And it's like, why are you doing this live when it's a canned show and everybody knows it's a canned show? And then you're like, oh, this match will be great. And it's not that he has to go and like he should just, this is the perfect opportunity to hop on and go, hey guys, I'm off to do this. We taped Collision this week. For those of you who avoided spoilers, shout you out. All I can tell you is this is going to be an amazing show. Shout out Will Hobbs. He put in work with us here at AEW. Wish him well in his future endeavors. I got to go catch a plane, catch Collision. It's on in 10 minutes piece. Boom. Just real quick, real cool, real swaggy. That's all you got to do, especially because like, this is how he is. It's like treating the audience stupid. Like everyone knows it's fucking taped. This is for the smart fans. Then why is Tony on here talking about, oh, this match will be a great, great, great match that's about to happen in a few minutes. But I'm actually live right now and we taped this on Wednesday. It's the opposite, man.
A great main event. The show was packed. We've got trios, tags, singles, women and men, great wrestling matches up and down the card. It's going to be a really exciting show. I'm excited to have Andrade El Idolo returning to action in AEW tonight. His first match back, taking on a fantastic practitioner of Lucha Libre and an AEW original, Angelico, tonight on Maximum Carnage. Great to see Andrade El Idolo back in the ring tonight. And also can't wait for this grudge match. I think it's going to be a fantastic tag team match tonight when the Grizzled Young Veterans, who have really rubbed Eddie Kingston the wrong way, take on Eddie Kingston. And speaking of great returns from AEW stars.
So Grizzled Young Vets are feuding Eddie Kingston. Like, bro.
I'm excited to see Ortiz return to the ring in AEW tonight, teaming up with Eddie Kingston against the Grizzled Young Veterans. I think that's going to be outstanding and should be a great match on a great show. We have so much to look forward to tonight. We've got Marina Shafir taking on Zeta Steel, which I think will be a great one-on-one match. Zeta stood up to Marina last week. Before
Zeta's been a little she's been a little cringe on AEW. She's trying to take the little bit of WWE training and all that, and then her natural shit. She wasn't there long enough, and good for her parlaying it into like going with Tony Khan. But you can see how she does not fit in the group they put her in at all. She doesn't fit in at all. She's so extra.
We're being interrupted by Megan Bain. And Megan Bain is in the house tonight too. And speaking of returns, Penelope Ford is returning to the ring tonight. Another AEW original back in the ring tonight after a layoff due to injury. Penelope Ford.
Imagine your company's so filled with CMLL and ex-WWE, you got to go AEW originals. Penelope Ford, an AEW original. She hasn't been booked in a long time. Remember her?
Was not able to participate in some of the biggest matches in 2025 due to her injuries. And I'm excited she's returning tonight on Maximum Carnage also. There's so much to look forward to. The national champion Ricochet is in the house.
It's crazy too, because this was a taped show that if you're a sicko, you already looked up the fucking spoilers and the results for it. Do you know what I'm saying? So he's like, Ricochet's in the house tonight, but really it was last week. Time cop. Like, the fuck, man. This would be the perfect opportunity to just treat your fans smart and go, yeah, we taped this. How would this video get?
And he will be watching.
I just don't even understand this video's purpose.
Closely as Anthony Bowens, who stood up to the demand last week, and Jungle Jack Perry, who's been a big rival of Ricochet recently as well, and is very upset after Luchasaurus got taken out.
And imagine, like, this is for the smart wrestling fans. This guy has to sit here and go, hey, hello, friends. And then Mr. Rogers explains step by step. Well, no means no. Step by step. So this guy hates this guy, and this guy hates this guy, and this guy hates this guy. So matches. And then they spit a promo, and then this guy's upset, and then he just explains everything that should be on the show, and people's actions and choices and victories and defeats should tell us all the stuff he's explaining on the show. But instead, he just says it, and Mr. Rogers holds their fucking hand through everything, and it's just matches. It's just TikTok brain fucking move, finish. Next match, move, finish. And then Tone just jumps on his live, tells you everything he's thinking of why he pieced shit together instead of letting the show explain it.
By Ricochet.
In a way that's interesting, because this isn't interesting either, except for when I roast it.
I think Jungle Jack Perry versus Anthony Bowen should be a great wrestling match, and they both really want a shot at Ricochet. So that should be excellent. So much to look forward to. And speaking of some big returns and big matches, Kyle Fletcher back in the ring for the first time tonight since World's End. The former TNT champion this year. He, of course, participated in the Continental Classic for the second year in a row. He won his league and went to the semifinals. He was in one of the best matches of the year against Jon Moxley at World's End, I thought. Jon Moxley, of course, who is now the Continental champion, is in the house tonight. He'll be doing commentary for Zeta Steel versus Marina Shafir. And also, we've got Skyflight taking on the...
So Fletcher's just doing commentary for a random women's match. And that's how you bring Fletcher, his first appearance since World's End. Not like, hey, let's show a thing on Dynamite saying Fletcher's the first time we've heard from him on Collision since World's End. Let's hear what Fletcher has to say. He's had a stellar 2025. We haven't seen him this year yet. And like, make it a big deal. Oh, he'll just go do commentary for these two chicks match. Yeah, okay, good. Got him. He's in town. Great. It's just the worst booking of all.
Don Callis family with Scorpio Sky and Top Flight taking on Kyle Fletcher. El Clone, who's undefeated so far.
Yeah, AEW Mole got nuked. His account got suspended. He fucking... Yeah, I don't know, man. Shout out to Mole.
AEW. And Josh Alexander, who's on a great run and will be taking on the incredible Kenny Omega this Wednesday night on Wednesday Night Dynamite. Very excited about that trio of Kyle Fletcher and the Clone. El Clone teaming up with Josh Alexander. That should be great. And Skyflight has had Don Callis family's number.
It's such a shit cop-out, too, to just say, well, there's 14 guys in this faction. So then whenever I team up 3 random guys, it's not random because they're all in this faction. with like 14 people. I just think that's a huge cop-out booking-wise. Although I'm not against like this heel faction with like a million dudes in it. I'm not entirely against it, but it's just like, we know why Tone did it. It's a fucking, I don't give him the benefit of the doubt. It's just a cop-out for him because he constantly, that's why there's the conglomeration as well. The conglomeration is just like 7 different teams glued together who are like kind of friends, but kind of not. And they break off and do their own things, but they're all in this group kind of, and you're just supposed to remember in the back of your mind so that he can just do random babyface team ups. That's why he does that.
Before, and should be a great match. Couple big matches for Skyflight tonight.
Which that's not even inherently bad. It's just, he just doesn't get the benefit of the doubt because we know that it's all cop-out shit all the time. Casino Gauntlet. We'll just cop out and do that match whenever. It won't even be on its own event or anything. We'll just do it whenever we need it. Like, that's why Tone does things.
And a lot to look forward to up and down the show tonight. I think it's going to be just absolutely a fantastic night of wrestling, and I'm excited about all of you joining us for AEW tonight. I think it's going to be a great Maximum Carnage, and I think we're going to have a great 2026. And since we're just minutes away and it's a very special Saturday fight night, I just wanted to come on and remind everybody it's a big sports weekend. So we've got Collision coming up on TNT just minutes from now. And I really appreciate you all watching either on TNT or HBO Max. Thanks for all of you who watched Maximum Carnage Dynamite on Wednesday. We had a great audience. I know the network was very happy with it.
The light like changed. What happened on his shit? The sun? He's like next to the window. Clouds covered the sun.
Live
What happened?
for Maximum Carnage. And it's a great Phoenix crowd tonight for Maximum Carnage Collision. AEW is going to have a great 2026. I'm very, very excited about the things we're doing. We're making forward-looking moves, and I have plans to grow the business in a major way, domestically and internationally. And I'm really very excited. I thought we had a great 2025. We won a lot of the top awards in wrestling.
Literally none of the top awards in wrestling. Sports Illustrated said you guys won everything. You didn't win the top awards in wrestling. There aren't the tippy toppest award in wrestling is the attendance, is the fucking balance sheet at the end of the day, because it's all a work. So you could say, oh, it's a Slammy or the Hall of Fame induction. Sure, but how about it's all kayfabe, and the only real shit is that fucking balance sheet and what the attendance and the sellouts say. Those are the real awards. The ticket sales say and shit. That's what all these sickos need to fucking understand. So Tony needs to understand these magazine awards that don't mean shit. SI saying you won all these awards hurt AEW more than it fucking helped you. The awards are when you look at the fucking balance sheet.
The best guys, Tony Khan.
When you show up to the building and you see the fucking attendances.
A lot of those people will be included on the show tonight, including the winners of the Tag Team of the Year award in both Sports Illustrated and in ESPN. Unanimous Tag Team of the Year, the World Tag Team Champions, FTR. We'll hear from them on Collision as well. Of course, the Breakout Star of the Year, Kyle Fletcher, also as voted by Sports Illustrated and ESPN journalists. He will be, of course, back in action tonight, too. So many great awards. AEW won for 2025, and I don't think we're done yet. I think there's more awards to come. Looking back on a great 2025 and looking ahead to what I think is going to be a really exciting 2026. And we've got Maximum Carnage just coming up minutes from now on Collision. Check it out. Again, it's 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. That's minutes from right now. Saturday Night Collision, Maximum Carnage. Thank you all watching tonight, and hopefully see you very soon on TNT or on HBO Max for tonight's show. Thank you very much.
Things, I guess, just won't change over there as long as this guy's in charge of
The
shit.
best guys, Tony Khan.
That, ladies and gentlemen, was AEW. Ichi-Nissan.